Hello, and welcome back to part 4 of our adventures around the world. This adventure is my time in Rome, or in Italy, with Adam and the girls. So they got in on the 12th. Robert and I spent the night before that in Rome. We trained down from Milan, and we stayed in this cute little hotel we found on booking.com, and it was like this Renaissance hotel. It was all like Renaissance artwork and stuff. And sorry, I feel hair on me. And so our room had like a foyer, but the bedroom had like these thick like red velvet curtains, and it had like tapestries and paint, like oil paintings. Actually, most of the paintings had like musical instruments, which was funny because Robert. And we had a big wardrobe. No bathroom in the wardrobe, unfortunately. It just had its own room. But we had like double doors, and the windows opened, and they had shades. It was a really cool room. I don't think I have a picture of it, but it was a neato spot. But anyway, on the 12th, they got in, and so we toured around Rome. Robert left late on the 12th, so he got a couple hours with them, and so we ate gelato and spaghetti and just toured around. Went and just saw we kind of showed them where our Airbnb was and where the big sites in Rome were and like that kind of thing. So that, when the girls and I were there and Adam, we could do stuff while Robert was gone. So we toured around. Wednesday, and I don't know if I said it in the other video or not, but the night of the 11th, Robert and I did a pasta making class in Rome, and it was so delicious. We made 3 types of pasta. They were so good. I mean, they were so good. One of them had goat cheese involved. So we made the noodles. It was like a class of 12 of us. We made the noodles with this woman who was a fashion designer and went to fashion school and then decided she wanted to be a chef. So she went to cooking school. And now she lives in Rome and is just thriving in her little, it was like an Airbnb, when you can do activities or whatever. And so we made pasta the night before. Delicious. Anyway, Wednesday, we caught the train to Flowtown, to Florence, the girls, Adam and I. And we headed we packed in smaller bags, and we stayed in the Florence Tower Apartments. And so we did a day trip just around Florence. Well, not really a day trip, because we did spend the night in the apartment, in the Florence apartment. But we went and we made plans on what we were going to do the next day. We saw, all the different, where the museums were. We went and saw the fake David outside the museum where the real David is. We went and looked at the big cathedral, ate a bunch of spagoot, bought tickets for the museum in the morning. So we went ahead and saw one of the main museums. It was where the Medici family, whichever way you want to pronounce it, it's where they lived. So there was a bunch of secret tunnels and stuff. But we went and saw the main 2 floors of the art museum that were Renaissance and pre and post Renaissance. And of course, the building itself was stunning, let alone the art within the building, also stunning. But we walked around that, and we went. I think that was the only museum we went into just because it was pretty busy. But we walked through Florence a bunch. They have a bridge, famous bridge with all these shops on it. And so we looked through all the shops. We went shopping. We found these overalls, these pink overalls. That were super cute. So that was our beach fit day for Sorrento for a couple days later. And so we bought matching beach fits, obviously. Ate a lot of spagooter tutor. Wandered around, got beautiful pictures of the sunsets. Ate a lot of spaghetti and pizza. We ate a lot of pizza too. And gelato. And there was a chorus concert competition going on at the time we were there. And so there was a group of all these youths. So I asked this group, I'm like, oh, what are you here for? And the man was very put out that I was asking him. And he was like, we are a concert. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Okay. So we did end up listening to them sing the night we were there. We sat out and ate pizza and spaghetti listening to them. They were singing right in front of where the David is in that big square, the tower. And our Airbnb was right there, or the booking, I should say, the apartment. The Florence Tower Apartment, which is great. Look it up. Was right there, so we could just pop over and eat some desserts and such. I'm trying to think. I think Florence was, we really just toured around. We just looked around the city and shopped. And Julia got her birthday shoes. They were super cute. And the next day, we spent the 13th and the 14th in Florence. We drove back to Rome on the 15th. Or technically on the 14th, right? We got back to Rome kind of late. But we went ahead and got the rental car so that we could drive to Sorrento and Pompeii on the 15th. right? It was going to be back-to-back excursion situation. So we woke up, I think the night of that Thursday night, we just kind of wandered, which was fine. We like saw some of the sites we didn't get to see before and went into like this little palace thing. And then we woke up on Friday the 15th and just drove. We stopped in Naples for pizza. Obviously, we have to eat a margarita pizza in the birthplace of margarita pizza. So we ate a pizza, we walked along the ocean, but Myers was like dead set on swimming. She's like, I want to swim, that is why I'm here. Screw the rest of Italy, I will be swimming, excuse me. And so we were driving and we got to like overlooking Sorrento, you know, we could like see it across the way, and they're like, oh, let's get out, take pictures. We were taking pictures, and there was like this rock in the ocean, and Myers was like, I want to swim around that rock, because it kind of looked like a ruin. And I was like, okay, maybe, like, I can try to, there's like a beach over there, but there was like a wall. I was like, I can see, and Julie goes, and I want to jump off that rock. I was like, okay, tall order, but I'll figure it out. So I like marked it on my phone, and we drove, and, you know, it's like a 15-minute drive to Sorrento from that point. So we got to Sorrento, and I'm looking on it, and I'm like, okay, you know what, actually, it's doable. Like, we could probably get there. So we ended up, you know, putting our bathing suits on, putting our cute beach fits on, and we drove like, you know, out of Sorrento into like the neighboring village, went through like a hotel beachfront, and it's a pebble beach, right? There's no like sand. And so we like walked along the edge, walked along this wall, and then just kind of like walked and walked, and then we climbed up this like wall and like hopped over a fence and like climbed up a wall, hopped a fence, jumped down, and then there we were just in these ruins, and we were, you know, swimming around, and we saw that these boys were jumping off the big rock that Julie wanted to jump off. So we were like, all right, like, show us where to jump off. So we climbed up with them, and they showed us where to jump. And so, you know, Adam and I scoped it out to make sure it wasn't like 2 feet deep, but it was about 15. It was 25 feet up, like about 15 feet deep in the water. So, you know, we all just didn't dive, no diving. So we were swimming around and having a grand old time. We didn't have goggles or anything. But we were swimming and playing and having a good time. And there was this like spot where the water was coming in. Like, it was like a cove almost, but like an open air cove. I don't know you'll see a picture. And so we're like, oh, let's go swim there. So we were swimming there. And then I saw this rock, and I was like, oh, let's climb up on this rock. So like, let the wave like push me under the rock. But then of course the wave like drags back out. So then it just like drug me across the rock and just cheese grated my legs. I mean, it just shredded my legs. So I was like all cut up, bleeding everywhere. Of course, Myers followed me, and I didn't even have the heart to be like, no, don't, it hurts. I was just like, my leg. So she got like minorly cheese grated on her leg as well. So then of course the rest of the day, like night and like sleeping, I was like gimping along. I couldn't feel my leg. It hurt so bad. The barnacles cheese grated me all the way. But we liked it so much that Myers was like, you know, the next morning we're like, okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to go back and like buy goggles and go snorkel? Or do we want to just go straight to Pompeii? Or what do we want to do? And we decided we weren't going to go back. Like, we had a good time. Just leave it at that. Well, then we decided, we sat down for breakfast, had a delicious breakfast, which is funny. We ate breakfast where Adam remembers eating dinner last time he was in Sorrento, and where I remember eating lunch with Lainey, Papa Joe, and Mom and Dad, and Laz and Edward in Sorrento. So it was like that. If you guys are listening, it was that little restaurant that had like the outdoor seating with the fans, and we looked at all the like cool wood stuff like down on the side of it. Either way, it was delicious, and it was like an American-style breakfast. We got scrambled eggs and the best cantaloupe and strawberries I've ever had. But so we decided to go back to snorkeling. So we like ran home. Adam ran to get the car. We ran and got like our stuff because we had to check out. And so we like grabbed our stuff and grabbed a towel and like ran. And we like sprinted. I mean, we were sprinting, right? Because I was like, girls, we only have like an hour and a half because we have to get to Pompeii, because then we have to get to this, because then we have to turn the car in. So we like sprinted down the beach, and we're like running on the rocks and we climb up. So we spent like an hour with the goggles, taking turns because we only had one pair, taking turns with the goggles. Oh, and the night before we ate at the hotel, like that we had like broken into, and saw the sunset, and it was beautiful. You'll see a picture of Myers like wading in the water at the sunset. It was stunning. But anyway, the next day we like used the goggles, and it was so beautiful. It was so clear. I just can't. It was stunning. And I was, you know, we had to go, girls. We had to go. So we got back in the car, soggy, drove to Pompeii, which is like an hour and a half away, and like stripped our clothes off in the bathroom and like changed into dry clothes. It was smoldering. It was very hot outside. So we were sweating in Pompeii. We did not have near enough water. I was downright determined that we see the brothel. That was like the only thing I cared about. And so I was trying to like history lesson them on the different places we were, because it is important to see Pompeii, right? Archaeologically, it's incredible because it's so well preserved. And finally I just had to ask like a person who worked there and was like, "Hi, where's the brothel?" And I wasn't telling them what it was. I wanted it to be a surprise because, it's got like phallic arrows pointing to it. And so I was finally just had to ask someone and told them, "Okay, look, we're looking for phalluses on the ground or on the walls. It's going to be pointing to a brothel. It's important that you see it because it's the most well-preserved building," and that's hilarious. And so we ended up finding it, and they did not think it was as cool as I did. I was like, "Guys, this is so cool. Like, of all the buildings to be preserved, like, come on, this is really funny." They didn't think so. But we were very tired. It was a tired bunch. We were tired and soggy, so we did get to see some of the bodies, and I had to explain to them that it's not sad anymore. It's just really fascinating. Like, we don't need to be upset because they've been dead for a long time. And they have a horse in the museum now. So they like took all the bodies. They used to be, when I was there last, they had them all like under this like covered thing, and they were like in constant glass. But now they've moved into like a little museum at the beginning of like the grounds. We didn't go in the same entrance I went in with Mom and Dad and Lady Papa Joe and my siblings. But so they're like in this museum thing. So you like go, and it's like a shop above, and you have to go down, and it's the museum. And they have a horse, which is really cool, and they have like babies, which is kind of sad. But the dog isn't there, and that's one of the things. I was like, "You guys are gonna think it's so cool. It's like a dog, like." But they didn't have it. But they had all the people, obviously the person like covering its mouth, and the person like going like this. I was trying to impress upon these kiddos how like absolutely astonishing it is that we're still finding this and that we found it by accident. But anyway, we left Pompeii, did not stop at Naples. We just kind of cruised. We tried to go to Mount Vesuvius. It was closed. We got there on time, but the people, they don't have real rules, and there's no cell service. It was all very strange. So we ended up just driving to like where you park to walk to the summit, and then we just walked back down to our car. Like we drove, got a bus up, and then just walked back down to the car, which it was a pretty walk. Bummed we didn't get to like go to the summit, but apparently an American fell down into Vesuvius. Didn't die, but just fell down into it, like because he dropped his phone or something. So whatever. But on our way down, I was telling them how I like murder podcasts and like murder movies, and so I was like telling them some of the murder podcasts. I listen to Crime Junkies. I'm a junkie. If you guys like podcasts, those of you listening, all like two of you, you should listen to Crime Junkies. It's incredible. I also like Up and Vanished, and Robert and I listened to one. I think it's called True Crime something. He's Australian. If you heard it, you would be like, the Australian. One of them is called Somerton Man, and they just discovered who the Somerton Man was, and it's been a mystery since like the 50s, and that's incredible. But so I was telling them about all these different murders and missing people or whatever, and so they're like, "Oh, let's listen to one in the car." So I played one of the ones that like I remembered but didn't remember enough, so it wouldn't be like just listening to the same thing that I knew. So I played one of like the earlier Crime Junkies for them, and of course we got to Rome, and it was like kind of dark. They're like, "We're not sleeping," and they were like kind of scared. I'm like, "Y'all, it's fine. Like, we're not going to get murdered. There's too many of us." So Adam, and we ended up having to keep the car because we were a skosh late coming back. But then Saturday, that was Sunday, we woke up. Yeah, Sunday we woke up and Adam took the car back, and then we all hid in the closet and pretended to not be there. And so Adam was texting me. He's like, "Hey, like I'm at the apartment. Where are y'all?" And I'm like, "Well, we're at the apartment. We're like chilling on the pull-out bed. What are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm in the apartment." I was like, "No, you're not." And so I sent him a picture of like the empty room, like because I'd already taken one. And he was like, "This is weird." And I was like, "Why don't you just walk out and walk back in? Like we're sitting in the apartment." Because we'd been talking about glitches in the Matrix. So he was like kind of wigging out, and then we like came out of the closet like, "Oh, we're here." And he was like, "That was dumb." I'm like, "You kind of believe this though." And then we went walking around. We went to Sephora. I got a bunch of makeup, and we went shopping. Adam found like a really nice cologne, but of course you can't travel with cologne because it has to be like a certain size or whatever. So we were wandering around and did some shopping, and we decided we were going to pick a good, delicious dinner. I'm pretty sure it was okay. I don't remember it being like phenomenal. The picture, one of the places we went to dinner in Rome, the like picture on the outside of the restaurant of like what the inside of the restaurant looked like, because we tried to eat outside a lot, but it was all busy. But the outside of the restaurant showed a picture of the inside, and the inside was like basically being in a barrel. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. We should go there." Then we went inside, and it was not like being in a barrel, unfortunately, but it was good. The food was good. But then Adam took a bottle. I mean, it was like bottled water, but he took the bottle because it was pretty. And then we went to get dessert at this place we saw that we thought was like so cool because we wanted mocktails. And I thought there'd be a lot more mocktails, and there really weren't. Like, it was a lot of like cocktails, but like, and you can obviously make those mocktails and be like, I just don't want the rum, or I just don't want whatever. But sometimes having a nice like curated mocktail menu. I got a really good one with Robert in, I think maybe Verona or Venice. It was so delicious. It was like fruit juices. There was some type of dried citrus involved. It was yummy. But then that night we hung out a little more. I made them watch the Lizzie McGuire movie because it takes place in Rome. Oh, we saw the Colosseum too. That's what we did. We saw the Colosseum. I was like, we did something. Oh, and we raced to the Parthenon. Gosh, our Sunday was busy. We raced to the Parthenon on scooters. Me and Myers versus Adam and Julia. Obviously, Myers and I won and got gelato as a reward. Although I had to get 2 scoops because my first scoop was gross, so I got a second scoop. We saw the Parthenon, which was really interesting. We saw the Colosseum, which, girls, if you're watching, hello, it had a roof. That's cool. Everyone kept saying, oh, how cool, it used to have naval battles. Like, yeah, that is cool, but you guys aren't listening. It had a roof, a retractable roof, like a convertible car, but the Colosseum. I digress. I kept saying that over and over again. I'd be like, you guys won't believe it. Like, the roof. Hold on, Robert just walked in. So anyway, we were in the Colosseum. I just kept reiterating, you guys, super cool. There was a roof, and I'm pretty sure they got super bored. But I'd be like, hey, what did we learn? The Colosseum had a roof. Anyway, as I was saying, made them watch the Lizzie McGuire movie, and everywhere that they would go on the Lizzie McGuire movie, I would be like, hey, we've been there. Hey, we did Wishes in the Trafalgar Fountain. Robert was there. That's what we did Robert's Day. The Trevi Fountain. Not Trafalgar. Trevi Fountain. We all made wishes in the Trevi Fountain. Whoops, I just dropped my clip. And yeah, it was like kind of a whirlwind. Like, it just went and went and went, and then all of a sudden it was done. I mean, it was wild. And then we ordered a driver for the morning of the plane and just left. I mean, it wasn't really, it's kind of anticlimactic. The airport was good. I mean, it was nothing crazy, and we flew home. I sat in between 2 sleeping people for most of the plane in the very back. With like 2.5 hours left, I like clambered out and went, and we sat 4 to a 3 row, me, Adam, and the girls, and I just squished in a chair with Myers, in between Myers and Adam, and we played like some zombie game, and Adam like got in the zone on the zombie game. And then I think we tried to play trivia, but we weren't very good at it. But it was an amazing I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff. I tried looking at pictures before I did this to try to remind myself. It was an incredible trip, and I do, in fact, plan to do several more vacations with them because they're a fun group. I just want Robert there so that Robert can be fun with me. Not that Adam's not fun. No, Adam is fun, but Adam's their dad. So anyway, I am looking forward to more trips, and I think we should definitely go snorkeling. Girls, if you're listening, we should go snorkeling somewhere because we kind of ran train on snorkeling. Like, the local boys were like, what? Look at these girls jumping off of the wall. Although day 2, one kid was diving, and Adam and I kept being like, oh God, we're going to have to call the Italian ambulance. I'm like, I don't know the numbers. I don't know his name. He's definitely going to die. He didn't. He was wearing tennis shoes, but he kept diving like off of like metal barriers. He would just dive into the water. I'm like, oh God, I know you probably do this every day, but just not in front of me. By the way, anyway, I'm looking forward to more vacations with them, and I'm sure I forgot something, and if I did, that's on me. It was just too much fun. There's too many fun things. So enjoy the pictures. If you see something that you're like, interesting, she did not mention that she XYZ, then clearly you'll know I forgot something. Oh, we took a photo shoot. We did take a photo shoot. Cute Fit Day was in Florence, and so we took a photo shoot in Florence. I have a lot more pictures, so if you guys want to see us like being really modelly, just text me. Also, we did like a lot of videos of us like modeling, so then we could screenshot it. And we did one when we were walking down like an alleyway because it was like great lighting. And when we turned around and came back up, there were these 2 men standing behind Adam, like whispering and looking at us. And we kept being like, oh, and you can hear in the video, I didn't include it, but you can hear me in the video being like, okay, just keep walking because it's super creepy that they're here. And I'm like looking at the girls like, this is weird, right? Yeah. Obviously, we're models. Adam was like, no, they're looking at you because you modeled. I'm like, or they're looking at us because we could get murdered. One of the 2. Either way, who knows? One never knows, does one? Okay, I think that's everything. Enjoy the pictures. The Sistine Chapel. I knew I forgot something. We saw the Sistine Chapel. Last time I went, we didn't get to, but we did get to this time. I'll be real. Underwhelming. It was underwhelming. We all kind of got there and we're like, because they make you walk through like all these beautiful hallways, and you get at the Sistine Chapel and you're like, oh, there it is up there. Anyway, we also heard the Pope talk, and that was cool because it was like kind of a bucket list thing. I'm like, hear the Pope talk in Rome, in the Vatican, of all places. And so that's it. That's what I thought I forgot. That's that. Also, I tried to get the girls to help me do a look a dog. They're comical, so enjoy.
Oh my god, Stop.
Why did you not just go the other way? Do not stand in between.
She gives me the look for feeling like you have an idea.
Look how
That's crazy.
there's stuff here. Where?
Everything is still here.
It's a Robert. Boop. It's for Robert now. Rich person house. Say hi. We're in Sorrento. Oh, it's so enchanting. If I were a vision. Say hi.
Hi, it's a Robert. Hey, Robert.
Myra, say hi. Show it to me again. That does the thing.
I already took a sunset picture. Good. Hey, Robert.
Oh look, it's a dog! A wiener, and it's kind of brindled.
Right.
Oh look, a bride. A wiener!
Look, it's a dog.
Oh look, it's a dog.
Oh, look, it's a dog.
Oh
look, a dog. Got me.
look at that baby doogie, look at the baby.
Oh, look, it's a dog.
Go first.
Oh, look, 2 dogs.
It's 3. 3 dogs.
Okay, I got it.
Go. Oh, it's a dog. Oh look, it's a dog.
Yep.
Go, Myers, go. Go, Myers, go. The dog was pretty.
Ready.
What?